excerpt of that A-Rod interview at 4. Right now, we welcome in the Giants' new defensive coordinator, Perry Fewell, who joins us now. Coach Mike Francesa in New York, Yes Network, WFAN here in New York. How you doing, Coach?
Very good, Mike. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. First of all, welcome to our city, and welcome to the program. How you doing?
Excellent, excellent.
Coach, I know you probably wish you were the head coach of the Bills. That didn't work out. How does it feel to be the defensive coordinator of the football Giants?
It's a great feeling. What an awesome town. First-class organization, the New York Giants, the New York football Giants, and I feel very privileged to be here.
What'd you take from your time as the interim head coach in the Bills?
A lot of head coaches get to manage. You have to do a lot of communicating with your staff, be it the training staff, personnel staff, management staff, equipment staff, and you don't often have the opportunity to coach a whole lot. I was fortunate enough to manage as well as coach, and I had a ball doing it. It was a lot of fun.
Obviously, you have aspirations there in the future, no question. This is the way to get back to that step. The Giants, as you know, are coming off, for them, a very proud football defensive heritage, a disastrous season, 540-point games, 730-point games, very un-Giant-like. Plus, they had a very, as you know, popular defensive coordinator who went off and became a head coach. Last year's guy is gone, didn't fit in. Tell the audience, tell the Giant fans, the many in the audience, what you're going to bring as defensive coordinator, both philosophically and emotionally, to the position.
Well, I believe philosophically in the mental preparation of our football team, and I want to be fundamentally sound. I want to be a physical defense, and I want to be a disciplined defense. I believe you play with team defense and that they have unity, and I like to be multiple in what I do and aggressive and attacking in what I do. I'm an excited kind of guy. I guess I'm an emotional kind of guy. I might chest bump a player. I might slap a player on the butt. I get hyped. That's me. That's my personality. And, I enjoy the game of football. I love playing. I love coaching the game of football, and I love seeing players play the game of football. So I look for a high-energy defense.
Are you a believer? Now, you might be blessed with, say, more down linemen than most folks are if everybody's healthy and back to the way they've been. That has been the case. Are you someone who believes in being very aggressive and attacking the quarterback no matter what it takes?
That's the objective. Mike, it's those guys get paid a lot of money. And so the more uncomfortable we can make that guy, the better off we are as a defense, I think.
And how about the idea of, I don't want to get on the guy who had just left, but there seemed to be a little bit of a disconnect from the former guy to the last guy in terms of being hands-on and being very much, a leader and a vocal leader to that defensive group. I thought maybe that may have been what was missing last year. Is that kind of your style?
Well, I can't speak to what happened a year ago, but I'm very hands-on. I love communicating with the players. I love communicating with the other coaches. I am a hands-on type coach.
I know we're talking with Perry Fewell, the new Giant defensive coordinator who takes over, and I know you have a history with Tom Coughlin back to your Jacksonville days. Were you there for both Jacksonville's big AFC playoff playoff runs? Were you there for both of them or just one of them?
Just one of those, yeah.
The one in New England?
The one when we were defeated by Tennessee.
Oh, the one where you lost to Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that team. Okay. Mm-hmm. And as far as what football defense means to Giant Stadium, I mean, it's a stadium where defense comes first. Even the new stadium, Giant heritage, as you know, Coach, is defense, defense, defense. It has always been that way. It's defensive first. There's not that many franchises, I think, that think that way, but football Giant fans and their heritage is always defense first, which I'm sure you're well aware of.
Yes, I am, Mike. And, that's one of the things that was very attractive about coming to the Giants.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's always been the way. And if anything, it looks like this team really needs an input of if not new personnel, a lot of changes, especially at the linebacker position, where the Giants had such a proud heritage where, if anything, the cupboard looks to be at the one position where it seems to be a little more bad than the others.
Well, I'm just in the process of evaluating the players right now. I wouldn't say it's bare, but I'm in the process of evaluating the players, and if we can acquire and get more good players, that makes our defense much better. Anytime you acquire a player that can upgrade your program or upgrade your football team, you're going to be better as a football team. So I look forward to that challenge.
And I know that, as a defensive coordinator, I know you've inherited some interesting personnel here. I mean, you do have some guys who have pretty big reputations for getting to the quarterback. There's no question about that if you go back a couple of years.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's been fun to watch some of our guys get to the quarterback and some of the athleticism that they possess and some of the drive and desire they possess. And so that's fun to watch. Hopefully we can do a lot more of that in the near future.
Coach, it seems, and we're talking with Perry Fewell, the new Giant defensive coordinator, who was the interim head coach up with the Bills this year and now is going to run Tom Coughlin's defense. Coach, it seems like when you look around the league now, maybe with the notable exception of what Revis has done with the Jets, safeties have taken such a prominent role in these defenses now and across the entire spectrum of the NFL, and you might be blessed with one of those guys if he can get healthy. He missed the entire season, but I'm sure since you've been here, you've heard a lot about what Kenny Phillips can mean to your defense.
Oh, yes. We've talked about Kenny a lot in the meetings that we've had at this point in time, and I feel very fortunate that if he can get back and get back healthy, that we can do some things and he can do some things for us to help us enhance not only our play as a defense, but, cause more turnovers. He's the type of player I understand that can get turnovers. And so anytime you can get turnovers and get off the field and give your football team a momentum lift, that's always good.
Why do you think the safety has taken such a prominent place in the NFL, now with, the Palomalus and the Ed Reeds, and it seems like safety has become a very, very big position in the NFL defense in the last decade or so.
Yes, Mike, I think because the offenses have evolved, you have the athletic tight end now that's in the offense. He's no longer just the blocker. That's the Dallas Clark flexed out. That's the Antonio Gates, those type of tight ends. And so you have to have a guy that has cover skills that can shut one of those guys down or in coverage, but also be able to come up and be a linebacker to force the run, linebacker type mentality to force the run. And then if you gain that advantage where that safety can now blitz and cause havoc in the backfield, not only in the run game but also the pass game, then you've enhanced that position, or you've glorified that position even more. So I think that's why the safety has evolved now in pro football to be one of those spots that you have to have a key player.
We're talking with Perry Fewell, the Giant defensive coordinator. Your last game up there as the interim head coach, you put a whooping on what there was of the Colts in the snow as they got ready for the postseason, and your team had a big win that day over the Colts in the snow. What's your thoughts about these two teams in the Super Bowl, Coach? What grabs you about the Super Bowl matchup?
It should be one of the most exciting Super Bowls since the Giants and the Patriots, because you have two good offensive football teams, two really good quarterbacks, and we faced both quarterbacks last year at Buffalo, Drew Brees as well as Peyton
You
Manning.
guys did a nice job against New Orleans. You played, you backed up a little bit and, made them come underneath and really gave them a hard time. If you didn't turn the ball over, you would have had a heck of a game that day. Your defense played well in that game.
Thank you. So, you have two offensive football teams that are really good, and you have two defenses that are playing at a high level also. And it's almost going to be like the NFC championship game is which offensive football team has the ball last.
And you didn't go after Breeze that much that day. Greg Williams has a history of going after guys. He went after Favre. He gave up a lot of passing yards. Then he put kind of a beating on him. The Jets tried to go after Manning. We saw what happened. Do you think you can't give a guy like Breeze or Manning a steady dose of blitzes, or do you think you just have to mix things up a lot?
I think you have to mix things up with those two quarterbacks because they're so smart. They study the game. They're the coach on the field. And plus, they have a